I think many people who are interested in Finnish education in general, they also want to know what do Finnish teachers do during their lessons and how do they plan their lessons? What are the principles there? And that's very often a topic we discuss with people who are interested in Finnish education. So first of all, if we talk about lesson planning in Finland, there's one feature that is very typical for Finnish education, and that is that the lesson plans are for teachers themselves. So they do plan their lessons, of course, but they make the plan for themselves. So they don't have to submit the lesson plan to the principal or to show it to anybody else. But they do plan their lesson in order to make the lesson meaningful and effective. And there are many ways how Finnish teachers do this. Some use some digital tools. They can do it with their laptop or how they prefer. Some still use paper and pen to make their own or remarks what to do during the lesson. And some even have the lesson plan in their head. So they plan a lesson, but they keep the plan to themselves, really. Another typical feature of lesson planning in Finland is that collaboration is highly encouraged. So it's completely fine to plan your lessons with your colleague and share your lesson plans and share your best practices and ideas. And we think that everybody benefits from such a collaboration. When teachers start planning a lesson, they, of course, always start with the objective of the lesson. And this objective comes from the curriculum. So what is the goal today? What should the students learn? And once they have this objective, the next question is, what would support students to the most to reach this objective? So what kind of activities, what kind of material, what kind of methods would promote this learning this objective? When planning a lesson, Finnish teachers also consider the lesson structure because it should be relevant. So the lesson structure supports achieving the objective of the lesson. But also lesson structure should be versatile, so it suits different type of learners, and also it's not repeating the lesson, the way the lesson is conducted, it's not repeating itself all the time. So every lesson is the same, because we all know that can get a little bit boring after a while. And how the lesson structure could motivate the students and make them eager to learn. And these are important questions. But another important factor to bear in mind is that lesson planning in Finland is flexible in a way that you can always change your plan, even though you have planned a lesson in a way, and then when you are implementing the lesson plan, you realize that this is not quite working as I thought. It's completely then to change your plan. Sometimes you realize that the group is not responding the way you thought, or their energy level is either very high or very low, and you need to adapt to that. And sometimes there are some interests that occur from the group, and you need to address that, because what could be more motivating for learning than when it's based on the interests of the students? So how to utilize them in your lesson. So even though Finnish teachers have planned their lessons, they can still change it, and they do change it. But still, the lesson plan is very important because it gives you guidelines where to go. And even though you make some changes, there's still this big picture behind your lesson. One very important question that Finnish teachers consider when they plan lessons, and what is also taught for them during their teacher training, is how do people learn? So, and this is based on scientific research. There's tons of scientific research all over the world about learning and how to promote learning and how human beings learn. And all this information is taught for Finnish teachers while they study to become teachers. And here are a few things that we know based on science. People learn better when they actively process and apply new information. And people also learn with other people and from other people. So all kind of interaction, communication, collaboration actually promotes learning. We also know that when people and students, when they reflect their learning, they learn better. And very important factor is that when we link new information to our prior knowledge, we learn better too. And a very basic thing is that what promotes learning is that students feel safe in the learning situation, and they experience positive emotions. So this is what we have learned from science. How do we apply this to our lessons is the question. So if we know that all these things actually promote learning, we should take them seriously and try to apply them as often as possible in our lessons to make learning happen the best possible way. And all these things I mentioned, they are of course part of social constructivist view on learning, which is the concept of learning we base the teaching here in Finland. This is the concept of learning that is taught for student teachers during their teacher training, and what they then implement when they work as teachers. Okay, this is all we know about learning, and this is what we try to apply. I'm not saying that we succeed all the time. You know, we know how the reality can be, but that is what is behind our minds all the time. But what we have noticed when we have been training teachers in different countries around the world, we noticed that not all the teachers are either very well aware of these factors that promote learning, or they are lacking tools to implement that type of approach to learning. So what we created is we created a lesson planning tool that actually helps teachers to implement all this knowledge into their work and into practice. And this tool is called LessonApp, and it's based on the way we design lessons here, but it's not like for Finland only. Quite the contrary. The idea is that this is based on scientific research which applies to all human beings. So it can be used anywhere and all countries, and it's not tied to any curriculum. Here are some reasons why we decided to create this tool. We noticed that there could be a need for it, and it could help teachers and support teachers. And what we very strongly believe is that every child has a right to quality education. And we think that teachers are the change makers here. So we want to empower them, we want to support them and help their demanding work. And if there's anything we can do, we try to do that. Here are a couple of examples of LessonApp features. So what LessonApp includes? First of all, of course, there's a lesson planning tool. That's what LessonApp is all about. And it includes an innovative lesson structure. So it helps teachers to apply that. And it also guides the user easily to plan more versatile, more motivating, and more effective lessons that are based on research-based pedagogy. Very often teachers say that, yes, I know, I should use more activating methods or participatory methods, but it's so hard to know which one to take and how much time it takes and so forth. So we wanted to help that as well. So LessonApp includes more than 150 different activating teaching methods that are described in detail. So you only need to read the instructions and you're good to go and apply that method. There are even some videos to showcase how they work, to make that as easy as possible for the teachers. Then there are lesson plans. In LessonApp, there are lesson plans. So you can save your own lesson plans when using this and find them easily later. But there's also a database of ready-made lesson plans by other users. So you can search for a lesson plan if you're interested to see if some other teacher has already designed a lesson plan of this topic. So you can search by topic, subject, country, language, age group to find a suitable lesson plan you're looking for. And the idea is that we would say that, okay, copy this lesson plan, but rather use it as a source of inspiration. So you can apply this lesson plan you find interesting as a basis for your own lesson plan and then modify it the way you like, so it suits your students and your teaching. There are many other features in LessonApp as well. So first of all, there's guide to pedagogy, and there are videos, example lesson structures, and so forth. You can also create groups with LessonApp. You can make a private group for your colleagues, for example, and share your lesson plans only with them if you like. Or you can join some public groups and find like-minded people from there and interesting lessons. And every week there are new ideas for your teaching in LessonApp. So we share great lessons, motivating teaching methods, tips for better teaching and learning, and professionally relevant short articles and so forth. So the benefits of using LessonApp are that it's very easy to access, it fits different contexts. There is a version for iOS and Android, and also browser version if you like to use it with your laptop. It's very affordable, and there are several language versions available. We already have the LessonApp in English, Spanish, Portuguese, Burmese, and Romanian, but it can be easily translated to other languages as well. And these are the benefits that our users have told us. So LessonApp is used in more than 170 countries at the moment. We have more than 9,000 users. And this is what our users tell us. It helps them to create pedagogically wise lessons. It provides numerous activating teaching methods that are easy to use and then support different types of learners. It can ease your workload because you get to learn best practices from other teachers. And there's also a possibility to create school's own learning community. Here's some feedback from our users. We get quite a lot of it, and it's very encouraging to hear. Okay, thank you so much.